YouTube, I'm Art. Thanks for joining me. So I've got a hobby tip slash kind of a story to go with it for you guys today. So back when I started doing commissions last year, I was mid-commission on a big Tyranid monster and I really wanted to use my airbrush for it. And a couple days into it, I dinged the needle on my primary airbrush. I bent the tip. I didn't have a spare, but luckily I had my spare brush, my Iwata Neo CN. So that saved my hide. But a couple days later, tragedy fell. I dropped my airbrush and just trashed it. Dropped it flat down onto the back of the needle, and it shoved the needle through the nozzle and blew it out. Completely useless. I was very fortunate that the Aaron Brothers, where I purchased this airbrush, still had a few of the needles and nozzles, luckily on clearance. So I got a killer deal on the replacements and was able to get back to work. I realized I was super fortunate for that to have happened, that they had stock. So from now on, after that, I keep plenty of spare parts for my airbrush. I've got 4 needles and 2 nozzles spare for my Badger Patriot 105, as that's my primary workhorse brush. I use it for priming, base coating, general shading, and even some fine detail if I've got bigger pieces to work with. And then I keep a couple extra needles and a couple extra nozzles for the Iwata just in case, even though I don't really use that airbrush very much. I still want to keep extra parts. So, lesson 1, keep spare parts. It'll save your butt. It saved mine since. So yeah, lesson 2, I figured out a way to keep from ever dropping my airbrush again. Simple, cheap, easy, kind of silly too. So I was looking around the house and I realized that my Nintendo Wiimotes had the wrist straps that, you know, never wear while playing with it, but super handy and absolutely perfect to put around the stem of the airbrush. So get your wrist strap. Usually you want one of the ones that are sized just for the Wiimotes because they're long enough that you can still get your wrist through them and have enough room for it to connect to the airbrush and not be basically tied to it. Okay, so take your strap, just put it around right, if I get the camera to focus, come on, right there. And ta-da, easy. And even better, if you have it hooked up to your line, like for me, I've got multiple airbrushes, so I use the quick disconnects. The airbrush is connected to the line. It usually dangles mostly horizontal, so your chances of spillage are even more minimal. It's great. So I found that really handy and just something I wanted to share with you guys. I'll put a link to the wrist straps that I bought recently. They're nice and blue. They were cheap, like $4 or $5 for a pack of 4. Cheap, easy investment for your hardware. So thanks for watching, and check back in soon for more. Thanks.